going to walk towards it, we're going to run towards it. I do love his attitude. It's kind of the thing that you want, isn't it?
Well, yeah, at the same time, yeah, but I quite like how calm he looked there, because I think you have to be calm. At the moment, you know, it's there for everyone to see. We're still in a great position. The way it's been talked about is you'd think that we need to win this game to stay in the tournament. So it's good that they're staying calm, simply because there is a lot of pressure on the guys. You know, it wasn't a great performance the other day. Obviously, you want to see them play a lot better than that, because we know that they can, and I think that the expectations are high simply because we know how good the players that we have got in that offensive part of the field can play, and that is why maybe people are disappointed. But at the same time, they seem to be in pretty good control of everything, and everybody seems calm. It's a big game Tuesday, but everybody should just remain calm.
Ange, he's had a tough few days in terms of scrutiny. You're like...
I'm laughing because Roddy wasn't calm with the drive over.
Never calm off there, is he? He's just sitting with him while he's watching the game.
Don't help me, Ange, help me, mate. Just panicking a little bit more in the car than you are now. I think experience does count in this scenario, and Jordan referenced, you know, the last two tournaments quite a lot. I'm sure that's the talk inside the camp. You know, we've had 4 points before. I think the key to that, though, is you still got to stay in the present. Just because you had 4 points in the past, things worked out okay, you still didn't win, doesn't mean it's going to happen this time. So I think they don't realise that, you know, there needs to be some impetus into their tournament now, and I think the next game gives them that opportunity to do that.
When you say impetus, though, what do you mean? Something has to change?
Well, some momentum in terms of form, in terms of you know, players maybe playing with a little bit more freedom and a little bit more confidence. Because I think if you don't get that at some point in the tournament, then it will get away from you. Because if you put in a poor performance in a knockout game, there's no second chance. There's no chance to readdress it. So I think the players will be looking forward to it. I think Gareth will be looking forward to it as well.
He's going to have some big decisions to make, Karen, in selection. What do you think he'll do?
Well, I think, I said it yesterday to you, Laura, I want to see Bukayo Saka on the left-hand side. I think without Luke Shaw, we don't have that natural width, that natural left-sided, and I think as well I'd like to see John Stones play the role he did for Manchester City. He won the treble with it, going from the back and going into midfield and helping us, because we can't get possession, we're uncomfortable with that. That 6 is a bit of an issue for us. And we just seem to be anxious. I think you said calm, I don't. I see a team that is quite anxious, and I think we need to get this selection right to build confidence. You see Germany, the momentum is building and building even around the city. For us, I don't really see that.
We need to get the balance right. We're becoming a bit too predictable, England.
Well, especially with the right side of the attack, that's what I'm saying. I know we have started with Phil Foden on that left-hand side, but he wants to play a 10. We need someone, or even a Gordon, someone to give us that balance that we're not so right-sided. Because you asked Danny yesterday, Danny Rowe, he said, what would you do to stop England? He's like, well, I know they're one-sided, so we'll just block the one side out. So it's just about giving different problems solutions and getting the confidence, like you said, and back in the side.
And you've had the noise with Spurs, but you've also had the noise of the national team in Australia. How difficult is it to block out and I suppose protect the players from that too?
You know, it's fairly extreme, particularly here in England, and it's actually predictable that, you know, the England story is pretty similar. You go in with high expectations, there's extreme reactions either way.
Yeah. Is that our fault?
No, but I think it's part of. I think when you represent England in particular, you need to embrace that. You need to understand that. And I think for the most part, the players understand that. And there's a fair bit of experience in there. But I think in terms of, you know, how much you change within the tournament, I know there's a lot of reference points. People say, well, in other tournaments, England have sometimes made radical changes and it's worked. I just don't think that that's the point they're at the moment. And I'd like to see players just playing in their natural positions to start with. I think that's your starting point. And I think if you can get midfielders in the midfield areas, wingers in the wingers areas, and if that's the way you want to play, I think that helps you get a little bit of stability.
Is that a case then, minor surgery rather than major surgery?
Yeah, I think so. You know, simply because, you know, like what Karen's saying about John Stones and how brilliant he was when he was going through the pitch from centre half. I think it was against Tottenham, I think I saw it.
Thanks, mate.
But the thing with it is that, yes, that's fine, because at Man City he's got that structure, he knows exactly what he's doing, people know where he's coming. Same with Phil Foden. Phil Foden's got structure. People talking about playing with freedom, he's got structure, he knows exactly what he's doing. And at the moment, us, from an attacking point of view, we don't seem to have a structure of what we're doing. And you're right, it seems to be the right-hand side, where the left-hand side, we can't quite get it going. And these are the things what we have to do. We have to be braver in the opposing half, because we're going to have to try and create and score more goals.
Karen, you talked about energy levels as well.
Yeah.
How much of a concern is that when you're talking about energy levels now?
That's why I said anxiety, Laura, because the players are used to playing every 3 days, and these are top quality players, and the recovery is fine. So for me, I felt they looked really leggy. I know the pitch wasn't particularly great. Well, for me, that's actually anxiety. I feel like because they're not comfortable in possession, there's an anxiety, then it becomes heavy. So I just actually felt that was a more nervous kind of fatigue than actually body, because they're all fit professional athletes that are used to playing regularly. So that was my take.
We've got plenty of time to continue this conversation because the game's on Tuesday with us on ITV, so that's going to continue rolling on and on. In the meantime, Belgium have failed to score in their last 3 major tournament games.